Hello there and a very good evening. You're now with me, Radzi Ahmad, for TVS English News at 5. Let's dive into the headlines for today. The Sarawak government has successfully planted 35 million trees through the Forest Landscape Restoration Program. Deputy Premier Dato' AWANG TENGAH Ali Hassan said the effort was done to enrich a degraded forest with high-value natural tree species.
Program ini dilaksanakan sejajar dengan program penghijauan Malaysia untuk menanam sebanyak 100 juta pokok menjelang tahun 2025. Daripada jumlah tersebut, Sarawak komited untuk menanam sebanyak 35 juta pokok. Setakat 27 November 2022, sebanyak 15.8 juta pokok telah ditanam, sekaligus merupakan rekod penanaman tertinggi di Malaysia.
He said this in his ministry's winding-up speech at the State Legislative Assembly in Kuching today. TENGAH, who is also Second Minister of Natural Resources and Urban Development, said the successful Phase 1 of the Sarawak Artificial Reef Program has upped the yield of local fishermen. Following this success, TENGAH said the Sarawak government has approved the second phase of the program, which cost 30 million ringgit and will implement it in stages beginning next year. For the record, Phase 1 of the Artificial Reef Program has implemented at a cost of 70 million ringgit, encompassing 1,000 kilometers of shoreline. The project was completed on 19th September 2022, where 16,800 reefs were installed.
The Sarawak government remains committed in its effort to bring development to rural areas. As such, Minister of Infrastructure and Port Development MIPD Dato' Amar Douglas UGGAH said 4.5 billion ringgit or 60% of the 7.5 billion ringgit allocated to the development budget has been set aside for rural development purposes, as Sarawak still lacks in terms of its infrastructure development as compared to Peninsular Malaysia.
Of ringgit 75 billion allocated to the development budget, 60% or ringgit Malaysia 4.5 billion is targeted for rural development in Sarawak. This is evident that through this budget commitment, Sarawak DPS government is serious in its effort to develop rural area. We will leave no one behind.
He said this in his ministerial winding-up speech in Dun Sitting earlier today. Meanwhile, MIPD has been allocated a total sum of 795.711 million ringgit to undertake 4 basic infrastructure programs.
Ringgit Malaysia 490.941 million for land infrastructure. Ringgit Malaysia 83.860 million for riverine infrastructure. Ringgit Malaysia 167.41 million for government building and 53.5 million for public building.
As such, he reiterated that through these allocations, the government will continue to ensure that no one is left behind.
Sarawak's total external trade for the first 8 months of this year rose 55% to 141.2 billion ringgit, compared with 91.1 billion ringgit for the same period last year. Now, Sarawak Deputy Premier, Premier of International Trade, Industry and Investment, Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, said state exports and imports rose 61.1% and 38.6% respectively. He pointed out that these investors continue to reinvest and expand their businesses in Sarawak during challenging times, clearly reflecting their confidence in the way the state manages its economy, as well as the state's political stability.
Both export and import increased by double-digit growth of 61.1% and 38.6% respectively. Strong commodity prices continue to drive the growth in export, particularly in oil and gas, aluminium, ferroalloys, as well as crude palm oil.
He said this in his winding speech at the State Legislative Assembly on Thursday, December 1st. Tengah added that 28 manufacturing sectors projects involving investments of 2.26 billion ringgit were approved between January and June this year, of which 1.02 billion ringgit was approved under the Industrial Coordination Act 1975 ICA and 1.24 billion ringgit under the State Industrial Coordination Committee ICC.
The three projects approved investment under ICA were electrical and electronic products, RM 1 billion, non-metallic mineral products, RM 10 million, and transport equipment products, RM 9 million. The remaining 25 projects approved under ICC were mainly in electrical and electronic products, RM 1.128 billion, beverage product, RM 50.9 million, food products, RM 19.3 million, and services, RM 18.2 million.
At the same time, Tengah said that these investments are expected to create about 25,000 employment opportunities. Apart from these approved projects, the ministry also received applications for 46 projects with a total proposed investment of 41.9 billion ringgit.
These include RM 35.45 billion for new investment projects in green steel, chemical product, etc., while RM 6.47 billion are for reinvestment project by existing investors in Samajaya and Samalaju for silicon wafer chip, copper foil, and solar ingots and wafers.
Sarawak needs more than 5% of the national development budget allocated by the federal government in order to improve the quality of life of its people. Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan said this is an undeniable right of Sarawak.
Kita mahu peruntukan yang lebih besar, bukan sahaja untuk pembangunan dari segi infrastruktur seperti jalan raya, jambatan, lapangan terbang dan pelabuhan yang lebih baik dan efisien, tapi juga untuk pembangunan kemudahan asas yang lain seperti bekalan air, elektrik dan sistem telekomunikasi yang lebih moden. Kita juga mahu peruntukan yang lebih besar untuk membangunkan infrastruktur pendidikan, kesihatan dan keselamatan.
Tengah said a bigger allocation is also needed to develop the industrial estate, business premises, and boost socio-economic development programs, as well as poverty eradication programs. On the new government, he expressed hope that no projects in Sarawak will be cancelled and that promises for the rights of Sarawak will be kept.
Selain itu, banyak janji juga dibuat tetapi tidak ditunaikan, seperti 50% tax collected from Sarawak to be returned to Sarawak and 20% of oil royalty to be given to Sarawak. Semua ini tidak dilaksanakan. Saya berharap agar kerajaan yang baru ini akan mengambil iktibar daripada kerajaan PH yang lepas.
Welcome back. Since its launch in 2017, Petros is now the third largest oil and gas company in Malaysia. The Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patikitan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, disclosed the matter during the third meeting of the first session at the Dun sitting on Thursday.
He added that in the offshore exploration and production space, Petros has 3 production sharing contract or PSC offshore production and 4 PSC offshore exploration. The Premier also told that Petros will implement 2 projects as part of the Sarawak gas roadmap involving Miri and Samalaju, commenting further that these projects require an investment of around 6 billion ringgit. Petros and other relevant state agencies will continue to promote such opportunities to downstream investors.
My Airlines Sendirian Berhad commenced its Kuala Lumpur-Kuching flights today. Malaysia's new low-cost carrier will operate its direct flights with 1 flight daily to Kuching and 2 to Kota Kinabalu and Langkawi.
A spokesperson for the airline in a statement said, from December 2nd onwards, My Airline will fly to Kuching twice per day and will be increased to 3 times per day starting from December 23rd. It added that My Airline plans to launch flights to Cebu, Miri and other major destinations in Malaysia upon obtaining the regulator's approval. Meanwhile, the airline's Chief Executive Officer, Rena Teo, said the flight frequency would be increased as the airline's domestic network expands, adding that it plans to start flying in the ASEAN region by the second quarter of 2023 at the latest. Bookings can be made via My Airline's website at www.myairline.my from November 26th to 30th this year, while the travel period for this deal is from December 1st to March 25th, 2023.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. More headlines anytime at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media. And that's all the time we have for TVS News at 5. I'm Razi Ahmad. Thank you for watching.